Do content creators and social media influence the balancing of Tekken 8? A lot of people have been talking about this, and I thought to myself, okay, what the hell? This is very weird, and I need to make a video about this and just talk about this whole situation because it's deep, guys. It's very, very deep. But before I get into that, let's first talk about Fahkumram. Oh, Fahkumram Day 2 impressions. So, a lot of people seem to be having fun with Fahkumram. At least that's what I've been getting from a lot of pro player posts or just posts in general on Reddit and Twitter as well. And a lot of these people also think the character is balanced. Of course, this is just day 2. Who knows, maybe the next few days, next few weeks, next few months, we can discover some game breaking bug or some broken shit this character might teach us to have. But so far, he seems to be an okay character. He does have his strengths and he does have his weaknesses, at least. Even his stance, his Rama stance, the 50-50 stance, actually takes some work getting into that stance because you have to charge up the 3 to actually get off the stance mix-up. So he seems to be a character that has an identity, he has his strengths, he has his weaknesses, which is just very refreshing to see. The last thing we needed right now is a broken Fahkumram, bro. Like, with the current state of the game, oh my days. Imagine if we got launch T7 Fak in Tekken 8, bro. Like, holy shit. So this is a massive W for Namco. Fahkumram seems to be a very well balanced character. Again, this is only day 2, guys. Day 2. First impressions. Of course, things can change, but like so far so good. Fak seems fun and he seems balanced as well. Now I don't have the character, but I have faced him. I had long sets against this dude in quick match, and as I played more with this character, like dude, like stepping this character, powering this character, he has his weaknesses, man. He actually has to work, but his range is still fucking absurd. His range is ridiculous. But of course, that's what's supposed to be his strength. He's supposed to be the big ass character with like the long ass limbs and the massive, massive range. So now, how does this relate to the topic of social media and content creators influencing the balancing of Tekken 8? Well, this starts off mostly with a post made by Aslan Ash a few days ago. I think he mentioned that Anna and Bran were top 2 strongest characters in the game, and then he said these characters are due for nerfs. Then Nee made a response to this saying, you know, you don't talk about every other character, everyone just pushes for Bran to be nerfed all the time. And it sort of became this back and forth thing. I don't know the whole story behind these tweets, guys, I might be wrong, but it just became a whole back and forth thing. So after some time, I think Nee later issued out an apology, I think a few days ago, yesterday I think, and he said, you know, he doesn't want to be this person that just posts shit on social media. It's so childish. I'm a professional player and I don't want to have influence on the balancing decisions of Bandai Namco. So like this got a lot of people thinking, like, how much influence do pro players actually have when it comes to the balancing team or balancing in general for Tekken 8? And this also applies to content creators. But before I talk about content creators, let's talk about Twitter, you know, social media, Reddit, and just top players in general having this influence that determines the balancing of the game in general. So I can also reference this tweet made by Blackheart. So Blackheart put out this tweet saying, you know, don't say Fahkumram is balanced or okay. Remember what happened with Lydia when everyone was saying she's balanced or she's bad, she got mad buffs, and now we have to deal with Lydia bullshit in season 2. Now, whilst this is true, does Namco really take every little comment seen on Twitter or posted on social media into consideration when it comes to balancing? And that's like the weird part of this whole thing. Namco, or Bandai Namco specifically for Tekken, they don't really have like, you know, a way we can give them feedback outside of Tekken 8 report. They don't have in-game surveys, they don't ask us questions on their site. It's just the T8 report for bugs and social media, basically Harada and Moray interacting with people on social media. So it's very weird because a lot of games like Marvel Rivals, for example, they have this content creator program where when they release a new character, they give early access to content creators to show off their characters. They also take a lot of feedback from pro players. Because at the end of the day, guys, we are the people that spend hours on this game. We are the people grinding ranked. We know best about the in and outs of most of these characters in the game. So it just makes sense that they should take some of our feedback into consideration when making these balance changes. So now, in terms of what Black Hat was saying and Ni, for example, do these people have that much influence at Bandai Namco we will listen to them? Well, I would say yes and I would say no. Because let's be honest guys, almost everyone was complaining about how bad Lee and Devil Jin are in this game. And what does Bandai Namco do? They buff the hell out of Devil Jin, giving him a 14 frame while standing Punisher. Personally, I did say Devil Jin was okay. The only thing I would have buffed for Devil Jin was his down forward 1. That character has a horrible down forward 1 and he needs his Tekken 7 down forward 1 back. So other than that, I think he was an okay character. But Bandai Namco just buffed the wrong thing with Devil Jin. There was no need to give him a 14 frame launcher. That was not an issue with the character. So was that because of social media influence, guys? Like, was that because of everyone posting, you killed Devil Jin, you killed Lee? Like, how much weight does social media carry and how much weight was put on Bandai Namco for them to actually make this decision because of social media? So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. Yes, there is some influence there, but like then again, some of these changes Bandai makes just does not make sense. Like, we tell them what's wrong with a certain character, what's wrong with the game, but they just make some random ass changes, bro, So some of these things are just very weird and it's very, very difficult to tell. So for me, to some degree, yes, people consider him the greatest Tekken player of all time. So obviously when he speaks, people listen. And this applies to the Bandai Namco social team. People handling the social media, they'll see what Ni posts. They'll be like, oh, okay, so he thinks this and this about this character. Even other than Ash, he thinks this and this about this character. But like, they don't take only his thoughts into consideration. Something Harada has said as well, the dev team are listening. But like, in what sense are they listening? He spoke about creating a Discord for more communication. Like, bro, Discord will just be another Twitter. It will just be another Reddit, bro. Like, give us in-game surveys and actually just talk to content creators. Have some interviews with people, guys. Like, be as transparent as possible and let people talk about the game. We are the ones spending a lot of time on the game, so we know best as to the in and out and what's going on just in terms of balancing of the game in general. And then let's talk about content creator influence as well. How much weight do these people carry when it comes to character balancing in Tekken 8? So let me reference the main man Sweep Mask. Obviously everyone knows TMM, the father of Tekken, one of the biggest, if not the biggest Tekken content creator. So TMM always makes this character breakdown videos talking about whether the character is strong or whether the character is weak. He just did one for Fahkumram a few days ago. He also did one with Hwarang, talking about how Hwarang is a freakishly strong character, which I do agree, by the way. Hwarang is kind of crazy right now. So most people or the comments you see talk about, man, if TMM complains, Bandai Namco will nerf this character. Whenever TMM makes a video and he complains, Bandai Namco nerf this character. And there is some evidence to this to some degree, but there is no hard evidence like paperwork, right? I usually refer this back to Tekken 7 Steve. TMM used to complain the hell out of Steve. He did not like this character in T7 in terms of fighting him because Steve is a very difficult matchup for Kazuya, even in Tekken 8, but like more so in Tekken 7. Like, Steve was a hard counter to Kazuya, so he really hated the matchup Steve versus Kaz, and he used to complain about Steve a lot. Down for 2, background recovery, which most of things were warranted. So when Steve got nerfed in Tekken 7, like Season 2, or Season 4 when he lost his down forward. So a lot of people complained that TMM was the cause of this nerf. Now there's no way to prove this as a problem. Yes, he might have had some influence, but was it really just because of TMM? Right? I think Namco take a lot of other stuff into consideration, so I don't think it was specifically just because of the main man Sweep. Another example I can give is when TMM made a video talking about how Murdoch is like super strong in Tekken 7, was super strong, and how his tackle was brain dead. It was a very difficult character to deal with. And he said the John actually DM'd him and said, please stop talking about Murdoch, you're gonna get my character nerfed. He actually said that in that video, guys. If you go back to that Murdoch video in Tekken 7, he said the John actually told him this. So like, even the John thinks he's a big content creator, right? So he must have some influence on when it comes to the balancing decisions that the Tekken team actually makes in this game. And yes, guys, it's possible, right? It's possible that they do listen to what content creators say as well, but how much they take into consideration, we don't know. We all know about the infamous Aries video. Look at the screen, Michael. Look at the screen. Michael was watching that shit, right? He was watching that shit. And Aries speaks his mind and he's always so open. But have we seen any changes because of that? No, we haven't, right? We haven't. So I feel they have their own team that they make agreements with, they decide what to change, what not to change. But I don't think they take a lot of what we say, what pro players say, and what content creators say a lot into consideration, guys. I just don't think we as content creators carry that much weight. These guys are just doing their own thing. Maybe recently, yes, changes have been good. Most of them have been positive. So maybe just recently, but just overall in general, man, I don't think it is, bruv. Like, nah, these ones just doing their own shit, man. They're just in their own world. It's just out there, boys. It's just out there. But let me hear your thoughts, boys. How do you feel about Fahkumram first? Do you think he's balanced? Do you think he's OP? Do you think he's trash? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. And how do you feel about content creators and social media having influence on the balancing decisions made for characters in Tekken 8? Talk to ya boy. Anyway, enemy gang, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to that like button, subscribe if you're new, and as usual, enemy gang, may the frame data be ever in your favor. GG.